Hello and welcome to Golf News Kicking Back. There is only one place to start tonight, and that is Denmark 0, Tunisia 0. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. A public holiday has been announced, guys, tomorrow in Saudi Arabia after the team pulled off what is probably the biggest shock in the World Cup. I mean, I think it's probably the biggest shock of all time. They've beaten tournament favourites Argentina 2-1. Now, guys, look. Saudi Arabia, they're ranked 51st by FIFA. No one really took them too seriously. I mean, but they've come out today with a really bold and determined and solid performance. And they dug in, they defended really well. And Sham, they deserved that win today, didn't they?
Absolutely. You are spot on. I mean, if any team deserved to win, it was the Saudi Arabia, because the way they initially the 20 minutes they were frazzled, although 3 attempts at the goal, but of course they got away with it. But after that, it was just Saudi Arabia all over the place, and they never allowed Argentina back into the match, and Argentina was pretty poor. So Saudi Arabia definitely deserved.
Nick, what's the reason for Argentina being so complacent today?
Well, I think it's a story. We've spoken about it, Imran, the last couple of days. I think Argentina are relying on Messi too much. So, when they were struggling, the first half, it looked quite dominant. 3 disallowed goals for Argentina. The Messi penalty, nicely taken, by the way. But that penalty, incidentally, if it was in the Premier League, we'd be having 10 penalties every match. These refs have kind of... changed their tune, but it's Argentina poor. But the second half, what did the Saudi manager tell them at halftime? It was a different game, 2 quick goals, a team ethic. It was brilliant, and what a winner. So congratulations to Saudi. The only defense for Argentina is that the other match was a 0-0, so the group is very much still open with couple of matches for each team to play. But, what's an achievement for Saudi Arabia? Well played.
Just going back to that, the penalty incident, Sham, I mean, it looked really soft. I mean, yeah, the Saudi defender, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He wasn't exactly looking at the ball, but there was hardly any contact there. I mean, if we're gonna give penalties like this, we're going to be seeing a record number of penalties, I think, in this tournament, aren't we, Sham?
Yes, indeed. I mean, if you look at most of the penalties which is given, it's rather dodgy. Okay, you have technology there, but the thing is, see, even the Lewandowski penalty, I mean, it didn't look like a penalty. I mean, so was this. To me, it definitely wasn't a penalty. I mean, I think that I thought Saudis were hard done by that decision.
They were hard done by, but they came storming back in that second half. It was a 10-minute spell where Saleh Al Shehri pulled them back level with a lovely left foot cross shot into the bottom corner. And then Salem Al Dawsari, he fired a superb goal. I mean, he got the ball, wriggled free, and he bent one into the top corner. There was pandemonium in the stands. But Nick, did you expect that comeback from Saudi Arabia today?
No, if you're 51st in the world against number 3 Argentina, you know your place. But maybe it's a lesson to all the lesser teams. Go for it. They're all good, strong athletes. And maybe, it really was the start of the World Cup 2022 today. More teams maybe should go for it. Saudi have gone for it in the first match. Let's see a couple of 0-0 draws today. Let's see in the second, third match if the weaker teams or the lesser teams, not weaker, lesser teams, lower in the rankings, if they go for it, just shows you what you can do.
But Sham, look, Argentina came into this game on a 36-game unbeaten run. It included winning the Copa America last year, 2021. They had a friendly match the other day in the UAE against the UAE in Abu Dhabi. They cruised through that. But I mean, have you ever seen a bigger shock than this in a World Cup, Sham? Can you remember one from the top of your head?
No, not at all. I mean, not in my memory. Definitely not. There have been shocks in the past, but definitely not on this scale. Because I was quickly going through my notes about what was that. See, 1990 Argentina again lost to Cameroon, but still made the final. Brazil lost to Norway, and you really have to go back. I was listening to the commentary. They say one of these guys was saying USA beating England way back in 1950 or something, or in the 50s, was perhaps the biggest shock in their
1-0.
memory. But yeah, so to me, in my memory, definitely this is the biggest.
It's a huge one. Nick Messi, he's playing in his 5th World Cup. He says Argentina are going to bounce back against Mexico on Saturday. And if they don't, they're going to be bouncing out of the tournament. Surely we're going to be seeing a much better performance from Argentina next time out, aren't we?
Yeah, let's hope for a team performance. Messi didn't get the support and the like in his usual style, but you know, they have no choice. They'll be flying home if they disappoint in their next match. But I don't think, you know, you can't peak too soon. You've got to build momentum. It's 7 matches to win the World Cup. And let's see, there is time, but I think there will be a few sleepless nights for Argentina and their fans. So I don't think it augurs well for Argentina moving forward. But the 0-0 draw gives them slight hope from the other teams.
I think if we cast our minds back to 2010, Spain lost their opening game, and we all know what they done in that tournament there. So yeah, I got a feeling that they're going to be okay. But now Saudi Arabia in a very strong position. It could be Argentina and Saudi. Everybody thought it's going to be Argentina and Poland. Obviously, Poland have drawn their first game today, 0-0. But Saudi, credit to them, they're in a very strong position, and they'll be confident of going through. Right, the second big news today: Cristiano Ronaldo has had his contract mutually terminated by Man United. It means he starts on Thursday for Portugal against Ghana, unemployed and as a free agent. Nick, I mean, how crazy is that?
Inevitable. I'm just glad for all parties that there's no more noise and everyone knows where they stand. I think it was very unfortunate. Ronaldo had his point, but I thought it was the wrong approach. But who knows where he's going to play? You know, I know Wolves and Everton aren't in the mix, but I wonder which other teams. So it's obviously, I've only just popped up on the screen, you know, Manchester United have made that move, but, you know, let's hope it's not all the news now. Let's stick to the World Cup, but I don't think it's the last we've heard. Who's interested, who's not? I don't know, but it was inevitable to happen. He could never have gone back to them. Let's just move forward with the World Cup.
Sham, look, the timing of that interview has been criticised, obviously, right before the World Cup. And now this news, right before Portugal's going to open their campaign against Ghana, that isn't going to be the best way to start the preparations for the game, is it?
Certainly not. Certainly not. Simply because, see, you have to be in a good mental space for a tournament like this. I mean, World Cup, we know it is the apex when it comes to the Football World Cup. And you definitely have to be physically and mentally in peak condition. And you don't want any distraction, which is why I was surprised when you gave an interview at the point of time. And now this, I thought the timing is very, very poor.
Very poor indeed. It'll be interesting to see how they get on Thursday. But before Thursday, we've got to have a quick look at tomorrow's games. The big one tomorrow, Germany's playing against Japan. Hansi Flick's in charge of Germany these days. They've got Kai Havertz up front. They haven't got Timo Werner. He's injured. Thomas Müller still playing. But they've got an important player in midfield, Kimmich. If he plays well, I think Germany should do well, Sham. You can't write off the Germans, obviously. How do you think they'll get on tomorrow against Japan?
It may not be easy, but Germany will win because, see, I never write off Germany at any, whether it's a Euro or whether it's a World Cup. They are masters at tournament play. In the bigger the occasion, the bigger their temperament, or they come to the party, as they say. So, I mean, they may not win handsomely, but they might eke out wins and just do enough to win. And they have won tournaments like that, and even the World Cup in the past. So I would never write them off. So they may not. They might be a narrow win, maybe like a 2-1 or 2-0 win against Japan, but still they will win and they will go through.
Nick, they're a young team. What do you make of the chances tomorrow? Do you think? I mean, we all expect Germany to get out of the group, obviously, but in the last World Cup they didn't make it past the round of 16, I believe. So how do you think they'll get on tomorrow?
Well, they're Group E, the group of death. There's always a group of death there. And Japan are stronger than we probably acknowledge. So who knows? It's as today has proved, the World Cup can have any shocks. And if Japan beat Germany, it wouldn't be the shock that we had today. So let's hope for a good match. And group of death, I love that phrase. So there always has to be one, and Group E this year. So Germany, 11 in the world rankings. Those don't lie. You know, when do we last see Germany outside the, you know, the top 10 in the FIFA world rankings?
God, it's been a long time. It's been a very long time. The other game in Group E is Spain against Costa Rica. I think that's going to be a really wide open, attacking game of football. Could be seeing a lot of goals there. I'm looking forward to seeing the young boys from Spain, Pedri and Gavi in particular. One's 18, one's 19. Torres as well. He's only 22. So there's a very young core there for Enrique's side. Nick, how do you think Spain, Costa Rica is going to go tomorrow?
Well, Spain, obviously, you can't deny their favoritism and their standing. But Costa Rica, they have a history of upsets. But I'll go with Spain.
And in Group F, Sean, there's Morocco against Croatia. Modric obviously is going to be heavily involved in everything that Croatia do. But the other big game is Belgium against Canada. Now we all know about Belgium. They've had that golden generation tag on them for a long time. They've got a very good squad. People like De Bruyne, Hazard, Lukaku, managed by Martinez, who I think is, you know, probably this could be his last tournament with Belgium. If he doesn't get the team to at least a final, I think he'll be walking away. I think obviously they'll beat Canada. I don't remember Canada being in the World Cup, to be honest. It must be the first time.
Same here.
But Sharp, how do you think Belgium will get on tomorrow against Canada?
You said the answer yourself. I mean, Canada for me was a huge surprise. So, which is why I don't even think that Canada has any chance tomorrow. Belgium, of course, should cruise past them. So, but their prospects in the tournament, like you said, I don't think they will make. You are even saying final. I'm not even saying that. So it's going to be a very tough journey for them in this World Cup.
All right, we'll see how they all get on tomorrow. We will be back. That's enough for us for tonight. In the meantime, head to golfnews.com and check us out on all our social media channels. Well done to Saudi Arabia again, and goodbye to Ronaldo. Good night, guys.